into the things that, you know, even you consider or that should be considered by them, especially being the accused, when offered a plea bargain?
Sure. So I'll say this. I'm not privy to a lot of the things that happen behind closed doors in most jurisdictions in the United States. And I'm sure that there's some unethical and challenging behaviors going on. But I'll say that in D.C., I understand the plea bargain process to be pretty straightforward. And it's this: after the client is charged, sometime between arraignment and their first status hearing, which could be a couple weeks to a month after the person is charged with a crime, the government will send the defense counsel an email, and they'll say the plea offer is this. A lot of the time, it depends on certainly the severity of the crime, as well as the individual's criminal history. So when we talk about fair plea bargains, it kind of gets trickier with the more conviction someone has, if we're talking about things like people of color being more likely to be pulled over or searched or charged and convicted in the first place. Then it kind of lessens their chances for fair or more lenient plea bargains, like a first-time offender might have, of course. So I always tell my clients, look, you are absolutely not required to accept this plea bargain, but I am absolutely required to tell it to you. And then we can talk about what you want to do from there. A lot of clients ask me, you know, what should I do? Tell me what to do. And because I'm concerned about some of the issues brought up in that article, like people perceiving defense attorneys to be in cahoots with the government and just trying to get convictions, except in the most extreme circumstances, I never tell my clients, this is what you should do. What I do is I lay out for them, here's the plea offer, here's what it means first, make sure my client understands what the implications are, and also that the judge is not required to follow that plea offer. So if the government offers 90 days in jail, the judge could give less, the judge could give more. It's up to the judge. I also inform them what their chances are of being successful at trial. I lay out what's going against them, what's going for them. I tell them if you want to accept guilt and you'd like to be done with it soon, like next week, the plea offer is your best bet. But if you want to ride it out, then go to trial. So I think it's unfortunate that some attorneys are not being fair and open with their clients. But certainly as defense attorneys, that's what we're here for, to make the system more fair, one client at a time.
Absolutely. And I just think that being someone that I could count the number of criminal cases that I did in all of my years. So I would venture to say I have zero real experience in the whole process. But I think that from just a theoretical standpoint, and I think just from a public standpoint, people just believe any attorney or every attorney is the same when it comes to things like criminal law, because that's what people mostly equate attorneys with outside of, car wrecks and personal injury. For the most part, that's going to be the average person when they think about an attorney. And I bring that up because I've had situations where people just would call me about a criminal matter. Oh, bless me. About a criminal matter, knowing full well I don't even do criminal law. And I'm saying that to speak to what Victoria is saying about really understanding the experience of the person that you're talking to. And I think what she mentioned earlier in the conversation about asking them how many cases that have they taken to trial, right? If they say none, your chances of getting a plea bargain suggested and probably recommended is probably going to be high.
Exactly.
You know, because this is not something that people do. And so I would say if you are faced with that situation, you need to ask them why why have you never taken a case to trial? And they should be able to, it's a fair question, and they should be able to answer that question for you. You may not like the answer, but you always have the opportunity to go and connect with someone else. So I want to encourage you guys to listen to the things that Victoria has mentioned about this process. Really think about that, especially if you or someone you know is facing a criminal charge. Victoria, let our listeners know how to connect with you.
Sure, you can connect with me by phone. The phone number to my office is 202-753-0388. My website is V for R CLARK at clarklawdc.com. Excuse me, that's my email. My website is clarklawdc.com, CLARKLAWDC.com. My Instagram is at RAYELLE_ESQ.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Listen, you can catch us on our Facebook page, Power of Attorney. Make sure that you subscribe to this podcast. We're on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and pretty much everywhere where podcasts are distributed. I am your host, LeTonya Moore. This is Power of Attorney. Until next time, have a great day.